G'day folks, today I'm going yabbying in this fast flowing little stream.
Hey you!
You're watching Robbie Fishing. Now I don't go yabbying in fast water all that often. I prefer still, stagnant, dirty old farm dams, but this is a bit different. Why have I chosen this spot? Well, watch this short clip. I came out here last night to go bait fishing to see if I could catch a carp or a redfin, and as they say, what happens next may shock you.
Well, this is a spot that I've never fished before. It's sunset and I'm exploring a new spot. Right now I've got about an hour or so to catch a fish in this creek. This creek doesn't always flow at this time of the year, but it has been flowing for the last couple of years, and I can't help but think that if nothing else, surely I should be able to catch a carp in here. Now I would expect that there will be carp in here. I won't be at all surprised if I catch a carp. I've caught carp in this creek upstream just recently, so I'm pretty sure there'll be carp here. I wouldn't be completely surprised if I caught a blackfish or a redfin, but I would be a bit surprised. And anything else will probably surprise the hell out of me. The two rods, both rigged with paternoster rig and a couple of janjuck worms on each rod. I'm just getting a bite there now. There's something biting that worm. I wonder if there's yabbies in here. I was just about to say, I went and had a look down there and it wasn't any deeper. When I come back, this line's pulling. It's still pulling there now. Is that a fish or a yabby? It's almost like a yabby bite. The worms are gone. Well, there is something in here. Well, that's a start. If I can't catch any fish, I'll put a yabby net in. Well, that's interesting. There it goes there now. Just that bite there then, look. Something's biting it there now. It's got to be a fish, doesn't it? But what sort of fish? I'm guessing a carp. Got him. It's a little something. It's a little redfin. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Well, I wasn't expecting that, but I'm not totally surprised, if that makes sense. It's hooked quite deep too. Well, mate, I'll put you back, but I don't think you're going to go very well. There's something pulling that tight. It's almost like a yabby. I'm going to reel it in really slow and see what happens. I'll let go. I reckon there's yabbies in here. See, what is that? Something is biting that worm there now. My biter is back. Something on there. What is it? What is it? What is it? It's a yabby. I was right. I was right. Look. Aha! I've been getting these really small little bites and I keep thinking, I reckon that's a yabby. I reckon that's a yabby. I'm really wishing that I'd kept that small redfin now, because I've got a couple of collapsible bait traps in my car that I could bait up. I reckon there's a few yabbies in the creek. Alright, he's too small to eat and I've got no use for him for bait, not in here anyway. See you later, mate. Well, how good was that? I was just fishing off that little bit of a point right there. I caught one little redfin, I caught one yabby, and I brought several other yabbies up that got off, and I was getting lots of yabby bites. I suspect there might be a lot of yabbies in here. Now, being flowing clear water, I suspect that the yabbies will be very clean yabbies and not very big yabbies. I'm not expecting any monstrous yabbies like I catch in some of the farm dams. But anyway, let's get some nets in. I'll show you what nets I'm using. Now, there's a bit of a grey area in the Victorian Fisheries app. According to the app, I can use up to 2 collapsible bait traps. I can use up to 5 hoop nets. These are called hoop nets or drop nets. Or 5 open top lift nets. Or the 5 can be made up of a combination of these and the hoop nets. I can have 3 of these and 2 open top nets, or 4 open top nets and 1 hoop net. But it doesn't say whether or not these 2 make up the 5. I don't know whether I'm allowed 5 of them and 2 of them. I don't know whether I can use them at the same time. It's a bit of a grey area. So what I'm going to do just to keep it safe, I'm going to use 3 hoop nets, 3 drop nets, and 2 of these. I think that's legal, but it's a bit of a grey area on the fisheries rules and regulations. I think that's okay, but I'm not sure whether 5 of them and 2 of them is okay or not. But if you're not already confused enough, I've got one more rule for you. When it says you can have 5 nets made up of hoop nets or collapsible hoop nets or open top lift nets are actually illegal in flowing water like this. The open top lift nets here in northern Victoria or northeast Victoria fall under the same rules that the
Opera House nets used to fall under. You can only use them on private property. So that throws them out of the equation. So I do know that I can use drop nets. I do know that I can use collapsible bait traps. I'm just not sure on the number or whether I can use them at the same time. So I'm going to go with the 3 drop nets, 2 collapsible bait traps, 5 nets in total. Let's go and put them in. Now the drop nets over there, or hoop nets, are all baited up with chicken drumsticks. There's 2 drumsticks in each net. These collapsible bait traps, I'm going to bait these up. I've been out and bought some chicken, was it farmer's market? I don't know, it's cat food anyway. Chicken pieces in fish broth, and I think the other one is tuna pieces in fish broth. Anyway, all I'm going to do is I'm going to open this a little bit, maybe about half or so, like that, and just sit that inside the bait holder. And that flavour will just seep out. And I'll do the same with this one. I'll just open it up half, and I'll put that in there like that. Net number 1. I don't think I've ever dropped a drop net in off such a high bank like this, apart from when I'm crayfishing. This net's in a pretty bad way too. Hopefully that's not too tangled. Net number 2 can go just here if the string's long enough. It's going to be long enough. Just. This is a super snaky morning. But this is where I was fishing the other day, and I was getting more yabby bites out there than I was down there. So I might throw this one out that way. Frisbee it out like I do the crane nets and see if that works. Righto, bait trap number 1. This looks like a good spot to put the net in, but it doesn't look like a really good spot to take the net out because of that big branch. But anyway, as I walk down the track here looking for the next spot to put the net in, I'll just tell you, this track just down there about 100 metres is where I recently filmed the cooking component of my silver perch catch and cook. And on the way out I saw a big brown snake on the track, so I do need to be a bit careful where I put my feet. Oh, if the snakes don't kill me, the spiders will. Everywhere. Beautiful. How deep is it under there? Oh yeah, that's the spot. That's the spot. It's taken me ages to find a spot for my 3rd net. Anyway, it's in now. It's been nearly 20 minutes since I put the first nets in. I reckon it's time for an impatient check of the drop nets. Well, now these nets have been in about 15 to 20 minutes. Now I don't know how I'll go, even if I just catch one, well that'll be a confidence boost. I know they're in here because I caught them on my fishing rod. Oh yes, I've caught 3. Hooked the tree, threw one out. Better than I thought. One of them ended up somewhere in there. They're actually about what I expected. Not huge yabbies, but big enough and very clean. I reckon that'll be about the extent of what I catch in here. There were 3, but when I pull the net out, I got it hooked on that stick. What I'm going to do is go and put these in the bucket, then come back and throw the net back in. They're not big yabbies, but they're probably better than I expected out of here, to be honest. I never get big yabbies out of this flowing water. You may have seen a recent yabbying on a floodplain video. They were about as big as they got. And that's a very encouraging sign. What about this one? Yes! Got to get it up though, that's all. 1. And I've got it up. It's about the same size and very clean. I'll check them for eggs. Very clean yabby. Beauty. Well, this is the last spot I would have thought of to go yabbying, to be quite honest. What about this one? None in that one. Right, so I caught 4, but 1 got away. So I've kept 3 nice size yabbies. I'm happy with that. I've put a little bit of water in here out of my big drink bottle, but I want to put heaps of water in. I'd rather have as much of this water in there and less of tap water as I can. Then I'll go and put some grass in there, some dry grass to keep the yabbies separated a bit. Because with a bit of luck I might get a few today. Right, well, I've kept 3 and lost 1. They're not monsters, but they're a good medium sized yabby. If I can get 12 or 15 that size for a feed, I'll be happy. Anyway, time to go and chill out for a while and just leave them resting in the shade. Righto, it's been about 25 minutes since I last checked these nets. They've had a little bit longer than last time. Now, for anybody wondering where I am, this is the 15 Mile Creek at Glenrowan. I'm in Ned Kelly country. Ned's buried in the cemetery just over the back here at Greta, or his remains are there. He's been dug up and reburied a few times. The township of Glenrowan's just over there. It's public access here. There's a nice bush reserve here. I don't think anybody else ever uses it. There's no sign of footprints or anything, and realistically, the creek dries up every couple of years anyway, so the 15 Mile Creek at Glenrowan, and I can't help but think that there'll be yabbies anywhere from here right down through Wangaratta. So if you're looking for a public spot to go yabbying, give the 15 Mile Creek a crack, although I don't know that there's going to be any monsters in here. Alright, there's some in there, there's 2 in there. I just got to get them up. How do I get them up without tipping them out? One's looking a little bit small, but I think one's alright. Oh, they might be both a little bit on the small side actually. Come on, yabs. Well, he'll do. They'll both do. They're not big, but they'll do. In the bucket. Right, now I'll check this other one here before I throw that one back. This had nothing in it last time, which was a bit of a surprise, and it's got nothing in it again this time. What's wrong with this net? This is the net that had 3 in it before, and it's also the spot where I was getting heaps on bait the other day. Now, if anybody does come out here yabbying, just be mindful that it is a very snake-prone place. And yeah, oh, look at them all, there's heaps in there. There's heaps in there. There's a big one in there, look at that. Look at that. There's half a dozen yabbies in there. Awesome! Ha ha! Oh, he got out, that one got out. In the bucket. No eggs, beauty! Beautiful big yabby with no eggs. There was 7 or 8 yabbies or something in that net there then. Awesome. Now I don't know whether this has had enough time. These collapsible bait traps generally need a little bit more time, but anyway, get it past that log and we'll find out. Nothing. I won't even worry about checking the other one then. I'm not going to worry about checking the 5th net. It's probably 100 metres down there or so. I'll check it later. Anyway, I'm up to probably 10 or so yabbies in the bucket. Beauty! Righto, it's time to check these nets again. It's been about half an hour. Now I'm going to check these 3 drop nets now, but I'm not going to check the collapsible bait traps. I'll check them later. I'll check these 3 now, then I'm going to go away for a while and come back later on this afternoon. Go home and have some lunch. And none. This has had yabbies every time I've checked it, except this time. And this one, in contrast, hasn't caught a single yabby at all today. And it still hasn't. Ugh. Now this is the net that's really been delivering the goods. That's a Judas Priest song, delivering the goods. And it's got 2. It's still delivering the goods. They're not big, huge yabbies, but they're big enough. I'll be able to get a feed off them. Now I'm going to do my greatest Rob Halford impersonation. He's the singer for Judas Priest. Yeah! Delivering the goods! I can't quite get my voice as high pitched as Rob Halford can. Although neither can he probably, because he's in his 70s now. Anyway, I'm going to go home and have some lunch and come back later on. And I may or may not even have Holly with me. That's the haul so far. They're not huge, there's one really big one in there. But they're about what I'd expect out of a flowing waterway like that. So clean. Right, I'm back. It's only been 4 hours. These nets have been in for 4 hours. I've got Holly with me, and we've agreed that I'm going to check these 2 because they're a little bit dodgy to pull them up, and then Holly can check that one on the corner, which has caught the most yabbies today, and she can check the other 2. Right, is there going to be any in here? What do you reckon? What's your guess? How many? Quick.
7.
3. I'm saying 3. Holly's saying 7, and well, there's I think it's 4 or 5. See what I mean by dodgy? There's plenty of yabbies in the net, but can I get them up? Oh, there's some small ones here. I've got a different bucket this time. I've done away with the white bucket, and I've got a blue bucket. Right,
He'll do. He's a bit small.
That one looks like a cod yabby.
This one here.
Yeah, look.
That's a yellow belly yabby. You want to hold him? He won't hurt.
No, thanks.
Alright, you can go back in. He's too small. That one's too small. That one's alright. That one's too small. And that one's probably too small, I reckon.
Didn't even know there was one there.
It was pretty small, wasn't it? So how many was that? I think I think there might have been 7. I think there were 7. Now I'll check this one here before I throw that in. This net, I kid you not, has not caught a yabby all day. Been getting heaps in the other nets, none in this one. You're not gonna, oh, it's got one. I don't know what it is with this net. And even that got through the wire. There was one, but it slipped through the net. Now I'll walk in front in case there's any snakies. I'll scare them out the way. This is where I went fishing last night. I caught 1 redfin and 1 yabby on my fishing rod. You good, bro?
I fell.
What are you doing down there?
I fell. I fell.
Bit slippery. Right, now when you lift it up, don't do what I done the first time and wrap it around that stick and flick the yabbies out. So, go. Hold it up high so I can't jump out. What's in here? Oh, there's only 1, 2.
Can I get him?
Yeah. Or is it just 1? There's only 1.
One's better than none.
He's not a very big one, but he's big enough. We'll throw him in the bucket.
Let go.
Alright, so we've added 3 to the tally and I've got about a dozen at home.
Yeah.
Is that a good outcome? Now we're going to go for a walk. Ah! Wrong handle! This bucket's got 2 handles, look. That's the handle with the yabbies in it and that's the handle with the water in it. Lol. Holly's asked me to check this one in case she slips over again because it's a bit more unforgiving, this bank. So I put the camera on my head. This had nothing in it before, but it's had a bit more time this time. I think it's still got nothing in it. Something tells me that cat food might not have been the best option. Now the net's right down at the end of all those trees. Do you want to walk down?
Have fun going down.
You want me to go?
Well, I just slipped down a bank, so I'm not going down there.
Okay. Well, I'm going to leave the bucket here because that'll ensure that I catch something. The more unprepared you are, the better the results. Hopefully this net's doing better than the other collapsible bait trap. Deep here. There is, well, there's yabbies in it. There's 2. There's 2 yabbies in it. Yeah, bro. I might as well just leave them in there, I think. There's 3 actually, there's 3 in there. Well, this is doing better than the other one. I'll leave them in there. Right, so we've got 7, then 1, then 1, 9, then none. So we've got a dozen. We caught a dozen, probably kept 4 or 5. There's 3 in this net here, one of them's okay. We'll come and do our final check in a few hours time, but for now, we're going to go and wet a line and see if we can catch a fish. Now that's the wind making the rod move. Bro's hooked up. Hope you got your drag set.
I hope it doesn't take off to your line.
Do you want me to pull mine out?
I don't mind, bro.
Yeah, I'll pull mine.
Where's the done?
Right, we're back. It's twilight. Time for the final check of the nets. Holly's got the torch. You ready?
Yep.
Go. And this yabby's in there. I can see them. Oh yeah, but how do I get them up? Here we go. Here we go. And there's 2 little ones. That's it. There's 2 little and there's 2 little ones and they're too little. He's a bit too small. He's a lot too small. I was holding the yabbies in front of the torch like it was the camera. Bro's ow! That's too small. Even at that size, they have a tendency to hurt.
Mister, it's not time right now.
When you're ready, mate. Oh, gee whiz.
Even at that size, that hurts.
And you say I complain?
Oh, the one that bit you was only half the size of that.
Nah.
Ah, don't pull it, it'll hurt.
Hanging over the water.
There's a long way to the water though. See you later, mate. Go on. Oh, that was nothing.
I think I might have got a concussion.
Right, and now this is the last one that has only caught one yabby all day, and there's something in there. I can see something swimming around. I'm sure there's one.
Can I get it?
If you want. Oh. Throw it back in if you want.
Here you go, buddy.
See you later, mate.
See you later.
It's a long way down.
Yeah.
Did you fall over again?
Yes, and I was sliding down.
Exactly the same spot as last time.
I know.
Now you want to...
Except this time I nearly went ass overhead.
I've got the camera in one hand and the light in the other. Don't get it. Hold it up a bit. Quick, no, what are you doing? You tipped it upside down. You tipped them all out, quick.
No, I didn't. See? Oh.
I wonder if there's any in it. You got to hold it up high. You dragged it straight into all them branches.
It's kind of hard, Dad.
It's not that hard. I've been doing it all day without any problems.
Shh. There's nothing in here.
Okay. There might have been though.
I think I broke it.
Now this is the first of the collapsible bait traps. It hasn't caught anything all day. I've got to put this headlamp in my mouth somehow. Right, there we go. And oh, there's one little weenie one and a couple of minnows. Two little bait-sized yabbies and a couple of minnows, and that's it. Alright, two little weenie bait-sized minnows. See you later. That was it. Bait-sized yabbies I meant, and that was it. Alright, now down to the last net. There was 3 in this net before when I put it back in. There's some in there. There's 3. The same 3 that were in there before. No more. Just the same 3 that were in there earlier. That is disappointing. I'm not sure what to blame, whether to blame the collapsible bait traps or the cat food. I'm starting to think the cat food wasn't as effective as chicken was. Anyway folks, I didn't get a huge amount, but I think I've ended up with about 15 or 16 medium-sized yabbies for a feed. That'll do me, not a bad result. Thank you all very much for watching.